Ready to get started with the men's trios semifinals here at the WTBA World Championships. Live on Bowl TV, we've got the United States versus Canada in one semifinal, and Korea versus Colombia in the other semifinal. Making the introductions of the players now. The Team USA trio is Bill O'Neill, Tommy Jones, and Chris Barnes. And to introduce our Canadian bowlers, I'll bring in our special guest commentator. I'm Lucas Wiseman, by the way. Dan McClelland of Team Canada is here and promises to be impartial in this match. But why don't you introduce the Canadian bowlers for us, Dan?
The Canadian bowlers we have today bowling for a trios event. Lead off, we have Mark Buffa. Second position, we have Francois Lavoie. And third, we have Patrick Gerard.
So those are our Canadian bowlers. And in the other match, we've got Korea versus Colombia. Colombia, Edward Ray, Oscar Rodriguez, and Santiago Mejia, taking on Choi Bak-um, Cho Young-soon, and Kim Jun-young of Korea in our other semifinal. It's a one-game match. Total pinfall determines who advances. The top seeds got to choose the lane condition that is being used in these semifinals. The United States picked the short pattern for the match against Canada, and Colombia picked the medium pattern against Korea. Any thoughts on those picks, Dan, with U.S. picking short and Colombia picking medium?
Kind of interesting with USA picking the short. Seeing Tommy struggled a little bit early in the tournament bowling on this pattern, and same with Bill. But, you know, they have the GOAT on the team, so, you know, Chris Barnes will be able to hold those two up for sure on this pattern. With Colombia and Korea match, I think, you know, Korea's been using urethane a lot on the patterns, so I'm guessing their mind frame is that, you know, the further the oil gets pushed down the lane, the more they're going to have trouble with it. So, you know, I'm expecting to see pretty good matches here, probably really high scoring. These teams have been lighting them up all week here at Sunset Station.
Francois starts off with a 4-pin. Just to kind of put it into perspective for you, the USA picking the short. They bowled 6-14 on the short 2 days ago on the first game. Canada shot 694 on the short the first game. So obviously Canada's got a decent look on the short.
Yes.
And on the other match, Colombia shot 672 on the medium. Korea shot 753 today the first game.
I don't know how they do with the urethane balls, but they sure strike a lot. So.
But I think you can kind of throw all those numbers out the window when you get into this kind of situation.
Yeah, this kind of format, some of these bowlers haven't been there. Some of them have. Team USA, Billy winning singles and Chris winning doubles with John Zabinski. So they've been here before. Tommy's not a stranger to the medal rounds or TV lights. When your nerves get up and, sometimes you'll gas the ball a little bit or you'll try and focus too hard on keeping the right speed. So it is a different type of situation going on besides from qualifying.
All right, so we're just settling in. This game will take probably, I would say, at least 45 minutes to bowl. So it's going to be a while. And the winners will immediately face each other for the gold medal after this. So it's going to take a bit for things to settle in and us to get a feel for how these matches are going to progress.
You won't, if they're close, you won't actually see a whole lot of scorekeeping until the around 7th or 8th frame if they're pretty close. Anything can happen in the first part of the game. Also, it really doesn't matter until the end of the game. You can not have a look until the 6th frame and still be able to shoot 220, 230 game to help out your team.
So we're just started with the semifinals. Would appreciate it if you would get on Twitter and Facebook, spread the word, let everybody know that you're watching the live coverage here on bowl.com. As we are starting the 2nd frame now. No opens by anybody in that first frame. Bill O'Neill. He yanks that one, and the Wiseman jinx full force right there.
Wiseman jinx.
As Bill leaves the 4-6-7.
I think that was just more, using urethane. It looked pretty good going a little bit left to right, but you had to catch it all. And if you catch it a little bit in, that's exactly what happens. You go through the face, leave a couple designs, try and get your count and get out of the frame.
Come on, Mark, come on. Oh, wow. Mark Lupa sends that pin in the air almost over the top of the 6th pin. And that was pretty wicked right there. So if you're just tuning in, I know a lot of people still joining us. We are in the trios semifinal round, the United States versus Canada. U.S. top seed picked the short pattern. And the other match, Colombia versus Korea. Colombia the higher seed, and they picked the medium pattern. A couple of early doubles for Korea. As they take a slight lead.
Oscar going up here in the 2nd frame on the medium pattern. Oscar just totally lit him up the last couple days here for trios, shooting 786 in singles, which is just unbelievable for 3 games. If you haven't taken a look at the Sydney pattern, the short pattern that we're bowling on, it is pretty flat. It's almost U.S. Open-esque. And for him to go 185, 186 over for 3 games just was huge. And then today, shooting another, I think, 80 over or 60 over.
More than 100, I think it was like 130 over today.
Yeah.
He shot 299 the last game.
Yeah,
and he really is the reason why they're in this position. He shot 15-26 for the 6 games in trios.
Come on. Lucky break there for Oscar. Shooting 3-6-10, getting a kick out of the gutter from the 10 pin, knocking the 6 over. Barnes up in the second frame. Now, if you're wondering what Chris is throwing, he is throwing an EPX. So it's a little bit of a dated ball, like Chris, but but he's been getting the job done on the short with that ball. He's also using it on the medium, making it look like a house shot.
Yeah, some of these guys are treating the medium like it's like the short.
Like the short, yes. There's enough friction outside that you could play out. You know, I crossed today with a couple of guys using urethane around 5'6", so you know, the friction on the outside is definitely there on the medium pattern to play out.
Yeah, the Koreans have had some success this week, pretty much doing the same thing as Chris has done, which is using the same bowling balls.
Same balls on both patterns.
Yeah, both patterns is playing right. Well, there's no emotion there, is there?
Yeah, Patrick is full of emotion. You know, he just has to, you know, sometimes learn to tame it down for the next shot. A lot of guys get in trouble when, you know, they get all amped up. So, but he's been being able to keep control of his emotions all week. You know.
Bill O'Neill with a 9-pin in the second. Choi Bak-eum left a split on a double in the third. So things still relatively close in both matches. A lot of people still joining in. Our live coverage today here at Sunset Station Strike Zone Bowling Center in Henderson, Nevada. Gave it a run there, did Choi Bak-eum.
Come on!
Looks like it's the 7 to fall backwards. It says welcome to the gun show.
Yeah, we got some characters on Team Canada. You know, Mark likes to hoop it up, have some fun. Then you got Frankie. Frankie is very quiet, very to himself, and if we see some emotion out of him, it would be actually quite funny to see.
Cho up for Korea. I was talking to one of the Korean players before we got started, and a much more relaxed environment for the Korean players. They had a coaching change, and
Come on!
as we see Frankie leave a 10-pin here. Well, it stays up. They said that the problem, though, is that they've got a new coaching staff for the Koreans, and they're very nervous because it's their first World Championships, and there's a lot of pressure on the Koreans to come through.
There's, you know, their previous coaching staff was very strict, you know, and I think they actually might do really well this week. Well, they have, but you know, you always bowl a little bit better when you're calm. You're not as high strung.
Yeah.
You know, every shot doesn't mean everything, so expect them to come out in team and actually really put up a big number.
You know, the Koreans have been to a lot of World Championships. They are the loosest and more laid back as I've ever seen them. They've never been this way, and I think that's a better environment for them to be able to succeed in. And we'll find out if it's working.
Couple back-to-back splits for Colombia over here. Santiago with the 3-6-7-10. Relatively easier of the splits. Let's see if he can pick it up.
The Colombians were on such a high after qualifying because they bowled a huge last game to get in, and sometimes it's hard to bring it back down.
That's right.
They shot 750 the last game to get it to number 2 seed, and off to a pretty rough start here with 3 opens already in 3 frames and no doubles on the board. So they are trailing by a little bit early in the match.
Go.
Patrick almost he misses the head, almost misses head to the left, not quite. But what I'm trying to say is that on the short pattern, there's not a lot of room right, obviously, because it'll go to the gutter, and there's not a lot of room left because that's what happens if you miss left.
Like I was saying earlier, it's almost U.S. Open type. the ratio of the patterns 1.2 to 1. So, still you have that little bit of room, but it doesn't make that big of a difference. You're basically bowling out flat pattern, and the shorter they are, you don't have that miss room at all to the left or right. Patrick with the easy spare. Moving into the fourth frame.
And we do realize that it's a little hard for some of you to hear us when the fans are cheering. We are up here in the spectator seating area, so we apologize for that. We'll try to talk as loud as we can when they're cheering, but it's challenging for sure. Another split for the Colombians. And the Colombians look like they could be in some early trouble. As we take a look at Chris Barnes, who he is having some problems with carry. He very easily could have the front three right now.
Yes, Barnes doesn't look comfortable in practice. It looks like he's been forced further left on this pattern than what he is more comfortable with.
Oh, almost made the Greek church there.
So, at Barnes's level, every good shot we expect to, knock down 10, and when we don't, it's kind of disappointing.
That's the first non-strike for Cho. As he leaves the 10-pin. Bill O'Neill really struggling here. He struggled in the last game of qualifying too. Just before we got started with this, shot 164. So seems to have lost the feel a little bit.
And that's another thing. We finished on the medium pattern, and then to go and pick the short where we haven't bowled on in 2 days because every other day we have a day off. It could hurt you. Your angles aren't fresh. That might hurt Team USA by picking the short pattern, but you never know. Team USA strong individual bowlers. See if they can pull together as a team to come back in this match.
Well, right now they're starting to fall behind by a little bit as Team USA. So right now we've got the Koreans and the Canadians leading by a bit early on in these matches. We're in the fourth frame. One game match total pinfall determines the winning team.
Got a question here via text from Mike Calderon wanting to know what Tommy is throwing. I think he was throwing a pink Stingray. He might have gotten that from Chris's Barnes collection, but that is the ball that Tommy is throwing right now on the short pattern.
Well, let's take a look at Tommy here in the fourth.
Tommy with a double 7 spare to start.
Pretty good shot.
Snapping the 10 out for the strike in the fourth.
And another open for Colombia.
Santiago started spare, split. It's not the way you want to start.
And Edward with a couple of splits in a row for opens as well. So they've fallen behind by quite a bit early on here.
Again with the messenger not connecting with the 10-pin for Canadian bowler Patrick Gerard.
Yeah, Canada's had a couple of those here early on. The messenger's flying across and missing
Actually, all of them have had one of those. Mark in, I think, the second frame, Frankie in the third, and now Patrick in the fourth with the missed messenger.
Chris Barnes has had a couple of those already, though, this game as well. So it's kind of evened out. That one looks a little right and manages to strike. I don't know if that's what he was trying to do, but
no, that one looked like he missed. But if you can match up with the right ball, right surface, in the right area of the lane, you can develop a little bit of room. Patrick hanging it on the edge. 10-pin conversion.
By the way, if you want to see the scores as they happen, you can go to bowl.com/world2013 and click on live scoring. You can see the frame by frame for each one of these matches. So we've finished 4 frames now. And I've got Canada ahead by 35 at this point.
Another open frame by Columbia.
And Bill O'Neill now with a split again. He can't believe it.
He thought that was good off his hand and just never really picked up. 2-8-10 split.
Strike for Korea.
Splitting the 8-9. You know, that might be an advantage for Team Korea right now. On the fresh, on the medium, the back ends were really sharp. Using the urethane, it'll blend the back part of the lane a lot for them.
Well, now Mark with the same split.
Same split, got a little right. You know, with this pattern, it just don't hit your mark. You're gonna pay for it. And Bill with just an errant shot gets 0.
Really can't afford to give away pins.
Yeah, especially with this sprint of the match. You know, it's only one game. All these pins count. And again, Santiago leaving designs. 3-6-7. Sorry, to 3-4-6-7. And like you were saying earlier with Team Korea, they're joking around, laughing, having fun. You usually don't see that. It's a lot easier when you're ahead in the match also.
And another split for Columbia. I mean, I'm ready to put the pencil away and break out the pin and write in Korea for the next round, because
you know you can't expect Korea to give it back at the end of the game.
That ball rolled out for Tommy. Never had a chance.
No. Santiago with 1 for count on a 6 split.
7 opens in 5 frames. All of them, well, not all of them splits, all but one a split. And so that's not going to beat Korea very many times when you do that.
No.
And so it's not looking very good for Columbia here. Seems like we won't have to do very much math in that match at this point.
No, unfortunately for Columbia.
It does make the scorekeeping easier. Good shot by Frankie.
Frankie with a little fist pump. Watch out.
Is that the kind of emotion you were talking about out of him?
That's as much emotion as we've seen from Frankie all week. He struggled a little earlier in the week on the short and beginning of the medium pattern. But as the team comes together, you know, bowling more team events like trios, and then we have upcoming team. You know, it's a little easier to hide the bad games. So.
And really, and you can speak about this, Dan, the team event is kind of what everybody comes here for. That's what the good teams really want to win, is the team event. That's
you know, me and Mark Bufa, we train together back home, and messenger for Korea over there.
Uh-oh. I don't know that I've ever seen a Korean do that in the World
dancing on the lanes there.
That was awesome.
But as I was saying, me and Mark were training, and our focus was just team gold. So, you know, even though we still have 4 other events besides team, you know, that's the one that everybody always wants to win. And you always seem to have to knock off Team USA to get there. Patrick again, left off his hand.
Well, I said that it was possible to miss the head pin left on this shot. Apparently, I was foreshadowing that because he just did it.
Yep.
I'm still amazed by the dancing that Cho did. 2 years ago or 3 years ago at the World Championships, you would have never seen that in a million years.
That would never have happened.
But it's good to see him having a little fun out there. I mean, they can afford to have fun. They're ahead by quite a huge margin against Columbia in that semifinal. And Chris Barnes with another 7-pin.
A little shaker 7 there. Just not seeing the reaction they had earlier on the short previous day. Patrick with the picket fence spare. The 1-3-6-10. Santiago up on the left lane in their match. And knocks down all 10. Trying to regroup and get focused for the back half of his game. Barnes with a single spare conversion.
So we're now done with, what, 5 frames in that one? And let's see if we can figure out where that one stands. Looks like a 39-pin lead for Canada.
Bill with a ball change.
And he leaves a 4-pin.
A little bit more predictable of a ball reaction. Still a great shot. With this ball, I think it's a black hammer. He doesn't have to go left to right with it. He can go a little straighter through the front and keep the ball in front of him, keep it in play more. Boof up in the 6th frame.
Come on, come on.
Good shot.
Yep. That 7-pin thought about staying up for a second, but it went down.
Yep. Mark's having a great last couple of days. Struggled really bad on the short and started out with, I think, 80 under. Came back on the medium, did really well, and just lit him up the last 2 days for trios. Newfound confidence, you know, you fix your footwork or something in your swing, and it's that easy to get back.
If you're just tuning in, you're watching our live coverage of the WTBA World Championships Men's Trios Semifinals. I'm Lucas Wiseman, along with Canada's Dan McClelland.
How you guys doing out there?
Ooh, another open for Columbia, and that is not going well for them. That's not what they envisioned at the start of this match, that's for sure.
You have Edward with 94 in the 7th, Oscar with 106 in the 6th, Spare looking to go up in the 7th frame, and Santiago with 50 in the 5th with a strike in the 6th. So they've been struggling here on the medium pattern, which they picked. Let's see if they can make a little adjustment for the back part of the game here. Strike for Oscar.
Well, right now, nobody is stringing strikes in the Canada-US match.
Tommy with a strike in the 6th frame there.
Frankie was the only one who had a string going, but he just left the single pin to end it. Seems like it might be kind of a grinded out kind of match,
definitely,
with Canada leading by about 40 pins or so. That sort of favors them.
Yep.
Another split for Santiago.
Actually, 57-58. That pair has been tricky all week. Watch Martin Larson, the first day of trios, shoot 246, come to that pair, shoot 130, 140. It's a little tricky. The topography here at Sunset, lane to lane, not just pair to pair, is it's pretty difficult. If you don't figure it out early, you can really dig yourself a big hole. Patrick Gerard breaking up the bucket and getting a strike out of it. Looks like in that match, lane 51 is getting a little tight down the lane. Everybody, their last shots on that lane, besides Mark Bufa, all have come light. See if they can make an adjustment. Team USA, Bill O'Neill going up 7th frame.
Still a 38-pin lead for Canada. Mark can push it to 48 with a strike here for a double. It's going left. Leaves a 3-6.
Fortunate break. Edward trying to put something together and just can't find it right now. PBA washout.
Bill finally on the board there with a strike. Took him 7 frames, but he finally got one. Yeah, I think that match between Korea and Colombia is over.
Is all but
It's
over.
all done,
Yeah.
Colombia's going to get a nice bronze medal here, and Korea's going to bowl for the title.
Bufo with the 3-6 conversion, wiping it off.
Yeah, missed it a little left, I think. Usually you want to hit both pins with the ball on that, and you didn't quite do that. But, hey, I made it. That's all that matters, right? Well, Team USA has a chance to make up some ground on these next two shots here.
Bowlers, yeah.
We could kind of creep to within 20 pins or so if Tommy and Chris both strike. There's Tommy Jones up in the 7. Chance to cut it to 28 with a strike here for a double. And the 4-pin stays up.
Yeah, it looks like he made a little move right. And, you know, when the fronts burn up, it makes the back end just that much tighter down lane. And Tommy, great shot, just left the 4-pin. He really liked it off his hand. If you guys saw, he wanted that one really bad.
Oh, Frankie trips out the 2.
Rolling the deuce. And if you're just joining in, that is not Justin Bieber. That is Frankie Lavoie from Canada.
We'd probably have a lot more viewers if it was Justin Bieber. But
we tease him a lot with his haircut, tell him to give the Bieber shake to fix his hair.
Patrick trying to look for a double here. Instead, it's a baby split. Boy, they're making this pair look pretty ugly.
Yeah, that's the 3rd shot in a row for Patrick going high. Frame ago on that lane went, missed the head pin left. So.
Well, and keep in mind, the short pattern has been pretty ugly the whole tournament. So no surprise that's going to be somewhat low-scoring match. Barnes a chance here. If he strikes, he can cut it to 20, about 28, I think, 29, somewhere in there. And there's a double. Chris slaps it out. A little bit of frustration coming out there, I think.
Yeah, probably the couple rolled deuces didn't help either.
See if Patrick can make the split.
Yeah, he does. Great pickup. Patrick Gerard bowls on PBA Tour also with Chris, Tommy, and Barnes. So see them talking, good camaraderie.
So it's a 28-pin lead for Canada with 3 frames to go. And
they can cut it down by 10 right here if Bill strikes.
Bill is kind of the wild card, I think, in this one to see if he can get it together. He's struggled more so than anybody else on the pair. But we look at Mark Bufo first in the 8th. He's working on a spare, no chance to increase the lead here.
Snaps the 10 out. If anybody could get back on that horse and make a big move at the end of the game, Bill O'Neill can.
Well, he's going to need it here for Team USA. I know we haven't talked about Korea and Colombia much. That's because it's a blowout. Korea going to win easily. Here's Bill O'Neill looking for a double to cut the deficit into the teens. And no.
Another messenger in front of the 10.
Bill can't believe it.
He liked it off his hand. Just pins weren't cooperating on that one.
That's really frustrating when you're struggling in a game and you make
down
a shot
just a
like
little
that.
bit. Yeah, chance to get your team back into the game, make it even closer, and
yeah, that just adds to the frustration level for Bill O'Neill for
most
sure.
Definitely.
Now, Frankie, come on!
And Frankie leaves the 7-pin. But Carey seems to be real tough on that pair. We have not seen a lot of strikes put together.
No. Bill with the 10-pin conversion.
Now's the time to get on Facebook and Twitter. Let everybody know to come watch the live streaming here on bowl.com. This is the semifinal round. The championship match will be coming up next. It's going to be Korea in the championship. Just a matter of whether it's going to be Canada or the United States. Right now, Canada with a slight edge. As we are wrapping up the 8th frame here. About halfway through the 8th.
Frankie picking up the 7-pin.
TJ with a strike in the 8th. No chance to cut into the lead, though. He was only working on a spare.
Patrick getting a little right. It's a little trick ball. He says that Motive accidentally put a urethane cover on that ball, so it still has a pretty strong core in it. So
well, it seemed to work on that shot for Patrick Gerard.
Yep.
Big shot here for Chris Barnes. If he strikes, I believe he can cut it into the teens.
Yes.
So this is a critical shot in the match right here. And he's going to stop. I had a feeling he might do that.
Yeah.
A little bit of noise going in for cheering for the Koreans, and if it doesn't feel right,
don't go.
That's right. Can't afford it at this stage of the match.
No, as close as it is, if you need to step back off the approach, if you don't feel 100% committed, do not throw that shot.
So big shot here for Chris Barnes and Team USA. Chance to cut it into the teens with 2 frames to go. Good shot.
Likes it off the hand.
I think the other thing that might have gotten kind of Chris out of whack there is that the Colombia and Korea match is kind of on the fast track to finish.
Yes.
And so they're not waiting for that pair to go, which they don't have to.
No, yeah, they don't have to, but when you only have 2 pairs going, usually you'll let 1 pair go.
Yeah.
Then
that's something that you guys on the PBA tour are used to.
Exactly, yes.
Not necessarily used to on international side of things. So 2 frames to go. Team USA down by 18.
Bill putting 10 back.
But a chance for Bupa here to strike and increase the lead back up to 28.
28, that's right. This lane giving him a little trouble.
Big shot. Haven't had a lot of doubles in this match, so they are hard to come by.
Pretty good shot. Need to get up.
Yeah.
Got lucky. Knocked him 2 out of 210.
Got real lucky to break up that split there.
Yep.
It was a little bit right, and it didn't quite. A little right and a little gassed, so it didn't quite come back up.
It's very easy to get your emotions up and your adrenaline going, and just a little bit quick with the speed, and ball can never make it up the hill.
We'll give you the final score for Korea and Colombia here in a moment. They wrap up. It's going to be a game to forget for Colombia. 444.
Not the game they were hoping.
But then again, for the last 3 or 4 frames, it didn't matter. So
yeah.
Not exactly a reason to try.
Just
Tommy Jones
fast-tracked it. Tommy Jones left off his hand.
Wow. That would have cut the deficit to single digits had he struck there. But
yeah, fortunate break, only leaving a 10.
Korea, meanwhile, going to shoot 699 with a strike on the fill. So they're going to win by 255 pins.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Mark with the conversion. Now, you have to think, what pattern do you bowl Korea on? The short, you know, they're going to use urethane regardless.
And the Koreans
And
are
they
the
just
number
shot.
3 seed.
Yeah.
So if
So-
Canada wins, Korea will get the pick.
Exactly.
But if the U.S. wins, they'll get the pick. But it seems like the Koreans are good on both patterns.
Yeah, they're pretty
Seems
solid
like.
on both, especially on the fresh. You know, they've come out all week and just real high scoring. The only time they struggle is when they're later in the block, when urethane just wiggles down the lane and doesn't make the right move.
Well, now it's gotten real quiet in here with the conclusion of the other match, and Frankie leaves a fast 8.
Losing 1 or 2 pins there.
Yep.
Spare here. Still keep it pretty close. Barnes looking to pick up some more pins for Team USA.
It seems like Team USA's had a lot of chances to cut it into the deficit into the teens and haven't been able to do it, but here's another chance.
You know, lanes changing, all those factors.
It's right.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
just a little right.
That's a lot of 9 right there.
That is a lot. Easily could have been 6, 7, and got a fortunate break. Just to leave the 2-pin.
Certainly feels like the kind of match where you can't afford to give away any count at all anywhere.
Yeah, it's
the way it's going right now.
And it's actually pretty easy to give away a count as flat as the pattern is.
Frankie picks it up.
Good shot.
Well, if Gerard can strike here in the 9th, that would put Canada up by almost 30 pins going into the 10th, and actually almost 40 pins going into the 10th, I think.
Yeah, and that'll force Team USA to double in the 10th, all 3 guys.
Which has proven to be challenging to throw strikes out
Bill
there.
Bill's struggling on that right lane. Tommy seems locked in. So does Barnes. Barnes hasn't missed on that left lane or right lane yet. Patrick gonna
They need
get
to
a re-rack here.
Yeah. Missing a 10 pin on that lane. He may want to shoot it because that might be the best rack he's going to get.
Yeah. Patrick struggling here on the right lane. Last 2 shots were not good. Expect for him to make a move. Ball speed, left move or even right move, be more firm with it. See what he does here in the ninth frame.
Critical shot here. A lot of pressure
Yes.
on this one. Looking for a double to increase the lead for Canada.
Good shot.
Oh, the ball just never hooked.
Nope.
And he leaves the bucket, but the count is okay. It's on a it's on a strike.
On
but
a strike here.
I tell you what, I wouldn't want to be shooting the bucket in this
No.
situation. It's not an easy spare in a situation like this, but Patrick shot it a million times before, so you would think he'll be able to make it here.
No waiting. Get up and throw it.
Got just
Atta
enough
boy.
of that 5 pin.
Just enough. Now here's a scenario. Bill with the only one to strike in the 9th, so that'll give him an extra 10 pins. Team Canada is up. How many, Lucas?
Let's do the math here. And it is 17? Is that right? I guess it's 17. Yeah, looks like we've gotten to 17 now. I thought that it was in the 20s, but it is now 17 pins.
So an
Team
even
Canada.
closer match now, coming down to the wire.
So if Bill strikes here, it cuts it to 7.
Little in.
Oh, he's real lucky it didn't split.
Yep. Leaving a 4-pin. Mark can get up here and force Tommy and Barnes to having to throw all 3 in the 10th for both of them.
Pass is a big shot for Mark. Actually, this isn't the big one. It would be a strike on this one, and the next one's the big one.
Yeah, the next one would be a big one. Give Team Canada even more of a lead going into the last 2 bowlers.
7 pin.
Just a little quick.
It's a safe shot, though.
Yes.
Can't lose any ground here if they both make their spare for Canada. Although they lost 1 pin and count, so it's now down to a 16 pin lead for Canada.
Bill with the spare conversion.
And Bill's going to be kicking himself. He's only going to shoot 150 this game.
You know, it matters pair to pair here. Bill's also had a 297 and a 300 on this short pattern. So, you know, just the wrong pair at the wrong time.
Let it go, Mark! Let it go! Yeah, guys!
Boy, that 300 feels like it was months ago, doesn't it?
It's
It was
tough.
on the first day.
It's tough here, you know, bowling every other day. You see a lot of guys going to different bowling alleys, practicing. So.
No, Bill looked like he just kind of nonchalantly stepped up and threw that shot.
Yeah.
That's
Mark strikes
one
here.
pin.
He gains that pin back and
I mean,
keeps it at 17.
17's not exactly a critical number in the count department.
All
but
you need is
never
one
know.
pin, though.
No,
That's the thing. You only need one pin to win.
a couple of 6 counts and it's right back, you know, even in the count. So a chance to pick up that pin again here for Mark.
Good shot.
There he goes. So back to a 17-pin lead for Canada. And everybody who's left is working on a spare. So that means Team USA is going to need some doubles.
Tommy going on his good lane, too. So.
And Canada is going to need, if Canada just kind of matches whatever the USA does here, they're going to be in the gold medal match. It's a good shot.
Good shot by Tommy.
Oh, wow.
Just a little bit behind the head pin, leaving the 10.
He had that pin flying and almost came up over top of the rake there. It was kind of peeking over the top of it.
Good old GSX machines.
Well, if Frankie can step up and double here, that might just about do it.
Yeah, that'll just force Patrick to get some good count.
Come on, come on, come on!
Rook shot by, as we call him, the Rook. Frankie, he's going into his junior year at Wichita. You know, any Wichita bowler has that great mind frame. Always wants to throw it under pressure, and I bet he just wants to get this game over with. You know, get back focused for the gold medal match if Canada can pull it out here.
Well, it's starting to look like it's going to be Canada versus Korea for the gold. That's what it's looking like.
But you know, you
It's
still
not
have
yet.
Chris Barnes coming up in the 10th.
Come on, come on, come on!
Oh, what a big double for Frankie. And that will take a lot of pressure off Patrick Gerard.
Yeah, that was, you know, it was a little bit in with some speed and just got that lucky kick on the 7-pin. Tommy giving some count back.
I think it's just about over now.
Just about over, yep. Stay behind the foul line.
Way to go, Frankie!
Frankie with another fast 8. Finishes that game only 2-11.
And you can tell Barnes up pretty quick. That should tell you all you need to know right there.
Yeah. And that'll about do it.
This will be the first men's event that Team USA doesn't win. They won the doubles and the singles.
Yep. Patrick just trying to keep it on the lane. Misses the head pin again left.
Well, fortunately for Patrick, they had enough. The people in the crowd are still trying to do the
Still
math.
wondering, yeah. Gets a lucky kick out of the back there. Now, wondering, you know, what's the big difference to the game? Basically, it's the clean games. Canada had 2 clean games there. Bufo with only 1 open in the 5th frame. So that's your difference in your match. Team Canada will be bowling for the gold against Team Korea.
Yeah, so the final score, Team USA had 579 and Canada had 601. So it's a 22-pin win for the Canadians. And so coming up next, Canada versus Korea. And Canada will not get to pick the lane condition. Korea will as the number 3 seed. So number 3 versus number 4 seed coming up here in just a couple of minutes. Live on Bowl TV. We'll see you back here in a couple of minutes. Practice is wrapped up, and we are about to get started here with our gold medal match between Korea and Canada. The Koreans, as the higher seeded team, the number 3 seed, have picked the medium pattern again. They just got done bowling on the medium pattern. So Canada will have to shift gears and get ready for the medium after just winning against the United States on the short. We're live at the World Championships at Sunset Station Strike Zone Bowling Center. I'm Lucas Wiseman of USBC. Team Canada's Dan McClelland is here along with us. And Dan, is it going to be tough for the Canadians to make that transition from having to bowl a match on short to now having to bowl on the medium?
Well, it's tough to make that transition for anybody, but you know, these are the best bowlers in the world, so I don't think it would be too much difficulty making the transition. There's a little bit more free hooks, so you know, bowling on the short actually might have helped Team Canada. They'd have to make really good shots. They'd have to hit the mark. So now coming to a little bit easier of a pattern where there's more hook to the right, it might benefit them. We'll find out in the match. Choi starting here for Korea.
So Choi Bak-eum starts with a strike. I think personally, Dan, that Choi Bak-eum is probably one of the best lefties in the world.
By far.
I mean, he is so
By
talented.
far.
And a lot of people in the United States and even around the world don't get to see him bowl very often because the Koreans generally don't travel outside of Korea too often to bowl.
No, they don't. And when they do, it's around Asia where they go. I've seen him a few times over in Thailand. It's amazing how good of a bowler Choi is. Mark Boofer with that scout. Choi, he's a great kid. You know, he doesn't miss it at the bottom at all. You know, he's hooking a urethane ball 13-6. So you know, gotta give him props. He's just one of the best left-handers by far in the world.
Well, a couple of strikes to start for Korea.
Frankie up here in the first frame, using the Defiant Soul.
Come on, ball.
Just a little bit right.
You can do
Using the PBA washout.
Well, Dan, you know, as good as a team as Canada has had over the years, you would think that they would have more gold medals in the World Championships. But between the men and the women, only 4 golds, 5 silvers, and 1 bronze coming into this tournament. So.
Yeah, the last few years we've had some pretty good teams coming along. We've been excited to come to the World Championships with these teams, just to show how good our potential really is. We've struggled a lot at World Championships, and you know, I'm happy for my 3 teammates here, Mark, Patrick, and Francois. They're showing that, you know, Canada is here. We're going to make some noise, definitely.
I was trying to see the last time that Canada won a gold medal in the men's.
80s.
It's 1995 in the singles
95.
event.
Come on, come on.
And Patrick with strike. Mark D-O-I, I would assume. I don't know. It's probably a French name. But I don't know.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah, that year in the singles event in Reno, Canada took first and second, gold and the silver.
Wow.
Bill Rowe won the silver that year. So that's the only gold medal for Canada men in the World Championships.
At World Championships, that's right.
So potential history-making night for Canada to win their first non-singles gold medal. Mm-hmm. And Choi Bak-eum with a split in the second.
We have a lot of Canadians tuning in right now, especially in the Toronto area. I'd like to give a shout out to all my friends out there, Joe Kayak, Art Oliver, our other 2 teammates on Team Canada this year.
Come on, Mark, come on!
Oh, Mark rolls the 2-8 for the double. And an early lead for Canada. Our congratulations to Colombia and the United States on their bronze medals. It's Choi
giving it a run. Now, in this situation, would you go for the 2 or would you try and go for the spare?
I think early on, well, he's working on the strikes. You lose a couple of pins there, but early on, you might as well go for it, I think.
I personally, I'm the same way, early in the match. But if it comes down to it, it's close with pins, obviously, try and go for your count.
It's not a totally unmakeable split either. Frankie back on track with a strike after starting with an open.
Show up in the second frame here.
Double for him.
A little bit of little bit of mind games on that one, walking back on Team Canada's side.
Yeah, walking right in front of Patrick Gerard, who actually kind of had to get out of his way there. I don't know if that was intentional or not. Generally, those things are intentional.
Yes, they are.
Oh, 2-10, so maybe it worked.
Be a little bit different story if it was me up there and he did it too. But we got some classy guys bowling for the medal right now, so.
Well, Kim trying to rebound after missing a single pin in the first. And he does.
It's the light shaker, 4 falls forward. See if Patrick can pick up the 210 here.
Ooh.
Sticks at the line, misses them all.
Come on, leave it there.
Now, with all that's gone on in 2 frames, we are even through 2 frames.
It's been a crazy couple of frames here, hasn't it? We've had 3 opens already, a couple of doubles. Choi Bak-um. And he leaves another split.
3-7.
Is this the short or the medium? What's going on here?
This is the medium pattern. It has had time to sit, though.
That's true.
Compared to what they bowled on 57 and 8. So oil has time to disperse out onto the lanes. Another factor, he is the only left-hander on that bowling right now. So plus topography of lanes. The lanes might be a little bit different from 57, 58.
Front 3 for Mark Bufa.
Bufa getting into it.
Awesome.
Another open for Choi.
I know for Mark Bufa, this is one of the tournaments that he has not had a medal in. So he has checked another one off his bucket list. I'm sure he wants to make it a gold. We'll find out soon here in the next 40 minutes.
Chris Barnes on the doubles show a couple of days ago was talking about how 55 and 56 was kind of a tricky pair. 55, some topography issues there, and this is our first gold medal match that we've had on 55 and 56.
Come on, come on, come on!
There's a double for Francois.
Now the trios team for Team Canada here, it's 3 of the 5 guys that they had at Reno, where they came in 3rd place, shooting low 3,500. So they have that chemistry coming from there, which is always good. Actually, 5 of the 6 guys on the team came from Reno, that 3rd place team. I'm unfortunately was the only one that didn't bowl. So we have really good team chemistry coming from Team Canada. So expect a lot of good things here the next couple days coming from team event. All 3 bowlers from Team Canada here striking in the 3rd frame. Mark doubling, Francois doubling, and Patrick with the strike after the 2-10 split. Sorry, Mark Buva tripled there.
Yeah. Got the red mark up there.
Yeah, got
Makes
the
it
red
kinda
mark.
throws it for a loop there. But it's an early lead for Canada after a couple of back-to-back opens by Choi Bak-um.
Kim here going for the spare conversion, picks it up.
Come on, man, keep it going.
So 3 frames in, and Canada with the lead. Canada up by what, about 30 pins, I think, at this
Yeah,
point?
it looks like 30. Choi up in the 4th.
That's a better shot. So if you're just joining us, this is the gold medal match in the men's trios event.
Korea defeating Colombia 699 to 444. Colombia struggling in that match.
Get over.
And Bufa didn't like it, but he'll take the X. He'll take it. He'll quickly forget about that frame, move on to the 5th frame. And then we have Team Canada winning over Team USA 601 to 579. 79. A little bit of a closer match.
No strike for Cho as he's got the front 4 now.
Come on, Frankie.
Francois up on lane 55 here. 4th frame.
Come on, come on, come on.
Triple for
Turkey.
Frankie.
That's 5 in a row for Team Canada now.
Yeah, Canada seems to have something going here. And they continue to build on the lead. Another good shot for Kim, doesn't carry.
And for you guys at home listening, that is the women's team Canada behind me. If you guys hear all that yelling.
Come on, come on.
That one never had a chance to get to the head pin. Leaves a super washout. Count doesn't hurt because it's on a strike though. So we wrap up the 4th frame. Someone that's in the chat says it's good to see someone other than the USA in the finals. And I think that that's probably a feeling that a lot of people out there
Yeah.
in the tournament are thinking right now.
You know, they sometimes get a bad rap about that kind of stuff, but you know they do have the best bowlers in the world. This is their job for the next 2 weeks is to win gold medals. So, you know, when you have definitely 4 out of the top 10 in the world bowling on your team, it makes it a little easier to win medals here at the World Championship.
And let's be honest, it's so hard to win every single medal. Every single gold medal at the World Championship.
It's a crapshoot, basically day to day. You know, you got for singles 216 guys shooting for 4 spots.
Yep.
And you know it's doubles.
We 72 trios teams going
exactly,
for 4
72
spots.
trios
You know?
teams. You know, it's makes Steve Sanders tournaments look awesome with his guts. You know. So when we come in bowl worlds, if you're not having a good week of bowling, you know it's tough to catch Team USA.
Yeah, forget about having a good week if you don't have a good game.
Exactly. You know, it only takes one game sometimes.
A lot of times, yeah, it's so close.
Got a couple ball jams here.
Yeah, it happens a lot on 55 and 56.
Yeah.
Believe me, I sit here all day long, every day, watching it. Happens all the time on that pair. But it usually works itself out
Yeah.
in a minute or two.
Frankie's going to go up anyway. I'm sure he's oblivious right now, just trying to focus on good shots.
I'm surprised he would step up with that in the background. It can be a little bit of a distraction sometimes.
Yeah.
Didn't seem to matter.
It didn't seem to matter for him. So most of the time when you're bowling this type of situations, you're not going to notice that unless you're not up on the approach. You're mainly focused on a task at hand. Throw the best shot you can. Try and throw a strike.
Well, the Koreans desperately need Cho to keep striking here.
Yes.
He's got the front four. Looks good.
Matches Mark Buffa for first 5 strikes.
Making that urethane ball look pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I assume that's a urethane ball. Looks
Yes.
like it.
All the balls Team Korea has been throwing this match and last match have been urethane.
Come on, ball!
Patrick coming back off the super washout. Looks like he's just struggling a little bit on that left lane.
Shot.
Kim up here in the 5th. For his second strike of the match.
The problem for Korea is that other than Cho, the other players haven't had a double.
Yes.
And they've had 3 opens total. Canada's had 3 opens, but Mark Buffa has the front 5 and Francois has a 4-bagger.
4-bagger, that's right.
So that's kind of the difference in the match right now.
You might see a little bit of a swing later in the match around 7th, 8th, 9th frame with Korea using urethane. It's going to create quick carry down on this pattern, even though the pattern has quick carry down on its own. So Canada's going to have to watch their balls carefully for their transition late in the match. I think that's what caught Colombia also, and they just never got a hold of it quick enough.
Canada's up by 31 pins right now and can go up 41 with a strike here by Buffa.
Come on!
Oof.
Buffa just a little inside.
Oh, wow! He had given up on it, and it comes from behind and knocks it down. Holy cow!
Yeah, Mark!
That was incredible.
Yeah, baby!
Mark thinking he's leaving the 3-6. Pin comes around. Let's see if we can get this in a replay here.
Yes!
That was
A little bit inside of
incredible.
target. Yep, looks like the 9-pin falls back, hits the 10, pushes the 9 forward, 6 falls into the 3, and it all looks the same on the board, folks.
Yep, and Mark didn't see it at all
Did not see it.
until he heard the screaming. That was crazy.
Now,
And here's a big momentum shift
big
right
moment.
here.
I was just about to say
you
that.
carry that big shot,
yep.
and then he steps up and throws a big split on a 5-bagger, and wow, what a turn of events.
This might be that that point in the match where it just seems in Korea's minds that Canada can't do nothing wrong right now,
Well,
so they're gonna press.
yeah, a chance for Canada to really increase the lead right here. Oh, and a
Good
wrap
shot by
10.
Frankie. Good shot. But still, damage is done there with the 4-6 and the 6 frame for Cho. A little bit more pressure coming down the line here for Kim and on Choi to see if he can get something going. Struggling first half of this match. Frankie with the spare conversion.
Well, Canada has to be pretty pleased with the position they're in at this stage of the
Yes.
match. None of the Koreans are stringing strikes.
Come on, Pat, come on!
No, and the big thing here is just try and keep your composure, keep your adrenaline harnessed. It's really easy to get out of whack here. Patrick with a ball change. He likes it.
It's a double.
He likes it. Team Canada with a huge lead now. Kim with the 2-8 spare there. Going into the 7th here. Mark wiping his brow. Sweats a lot. Just trying to focus on what he needs to do here. Choi's going to go up first.
Yeah, it's got to be about a 60,
Yeah.
60, 70 pin lead right now.
Yeah, with all the count carrying forward. Canada has a pretty good cushion, but you never want to sit back on it. Good shot by Mark. Front 7.
Yep. Put
Mark,
the team on his back, and he's carrying him right
Mark
now.
is clutch right now. He says, guys, jump on. I got this. Just follow my lead. Cho coming back for the strike after 4-6 in the 6th frame on the front 5.
Looks like it's about a 75 pin lead for Canada at this point.
Frankie getting the trip 9. All calm and collective. It's like, yep, I'll take that.
Yeah, but be careful here because all 3 Koreans strike in the
All strikes in the
7th
7th for Korea.
And this could be the start of
That's right.
building
You
something,
know,
and that's how you rebound from a 75
right.
pin deficit. You just
It's-
chip away at it.
It's not how you start, it's how you finish matches. And everybody will tell you that.
Oh,
Just
big
like
4.
that. Just like that.
Yeah, Canada's going to give back some pins here, and it's going to give Korea a chance to maybe eat away at it a little bit in the 8th, but Korea's still going to need some help. Still 3 frames to go, though. Mark
Yeah.
Bufa leading the way with the front 7 right now for Canada.
Max scores here for Korea. We had 214 for Choi, 266 for Cho, and 228 for Kim. And for Team Canada, we have Mark with the front 7, Francois Lavoie for 258, and Patrick Gerard with a 196 finish.
And there
If they can
is
strike out.
a double for Choi, who has just cut into the lead
That's
just a little
right.
bit.
Choi here getting the ball far out left. And folks, that is a urethane ball. He liked it. A little emotion there.
.56 pin lead for Canada right now.
Come on, Mark, come on.
Oh, and Mark breaks it up for the strike. The front 8 and a 66 pin lead now for Canada.
You know, he had to make a move. You know, he went Brooklyn and then through the face 3-6 and rolled it. Making a move on front 7, you know, only thing you can do is be 100% confident. And, you know, he threw it maybe a little fast, but still got that break.
Chance to cut it back to 56. And they do. And I think here come the Koreans.
That's right. They're not going to go down without a fight. Strong team always. You know, never give up. 110% every time.
Frankie a chance to take the lead back to 66 with a strike right here.
Come on.
There it is. Ah, there was some emotion there. Did you see that?
Fist pump. Yeah, Rook.
Another big shot for Korea.
Oh,
Oh boy.
a little right too quick through the face. 6'10". Good break.
Come on.
Patrick trying to get back on it here. help out his teammates, Mark and Francois.
Come back.
Good shot.
Good shot. Another trip 9.
You don't see the pin come off the right side of the wall like that
you
very
never
often.
see that. Good break for Team Canada there.
Big ninth frame. Come on.
So a big strike there for Patrick.
Kim.
A spare for Kim. And if my math is right, it should be 66 pins, the lead for Canada, somewhere in there.
Yeah, with everything falling forward.
Let's see here. Might be 56. Yeah, we got 2 players on each side, both working on a double. Without, taking account the previous strikes. Messenger in front of the 7.
Missing it.
Yeah, so it was 56 before that shot. Now it's 57.
Expect to see a lot of motion from Mark if they strike here. Seeing Choi leave a 7 pin. They know how close it is.
So much pressure. I don't care how experienced you are.
Exactly.
You get nervous in these situations, I would guess.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially with the front 8.
Another good shot from Mark.
Oh, and he does it. The front 9.
Choi with the 7 pin spare. Hearing our other teammate, George Lambert, yell out, "Let's go, Rook." George is one of the funnier guys on the team. Is rooming with Francois this tournament for World Championships, making him open his doors and go get his whatever it is.
This puts Canada really in a great position if he can strike.
Oh!
Messenger comes across, takes out the 10, and Canada is in control.
Getting high fives here from Team Canada members.
That was a little slow.
Yep.
And a wobbling 4 pin, and that might just about do it for Korea. They're in some big trouble now.
You're right. If Patrick can stay clean here, just right through the backs of Frankie and Mark. He said, "No, guys, I'm here too."
A double for Patrick Gerard, and the Canadians are rolling. This is some performance by the Canadian trios team here.
Last year at PabCon, it was Mark Buffa, George Lambert, and Jean-Sebastien Lassard winning the gold medal in trios. Mark was a little upset that he didn't get the bowl with George this year. I guess Mark had a feeling. Kim striking in the 9th.
So heading into the 10th frame, Canada with a huge lead. They really built it up there with all doubles, at least doubles from the Canadians going into the 10th, and only 1 strike on the board for Korea.
Yeah,
it's really hard to see a scenario here where Korea can win this.
A freak scenario is the only thing that you're going to see. Korea needing them all to stay alive. Still a great performance by the Koreans. Always giving it their all, always at the top.
So here we go with Mark Buffa with the front 9. These are the kind of situations where legends are made. You don't see people shoot 300 in a gold medal match very often. And he's got a shot. Needs 3 more strikes.
Oh, little
Pulled it, and the Brooklyn doesn't go. Doesn't matter. The 9 before that were the best ones, the most important ones, and got them to the point now where they are in great position to win this thing.
Choi a little left. Good break, leaving just a 7. Just wasn't in it. Couldn't get anything started early. He'll finish with a 183 with the spare.
So Bufa trying to make the spare here to finish it off.
And he does. Good conversion.
What a clutch performance for Bufa here. For most of the strikes, he had a couple of lucky ones in there, but
and you got to have them.
For the most part,
you got to have lucky ones.
He threw 7 of the 9 pretty good.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a pretty good
good ratio.
Pretty good ratio on these tough sport patterns.
You know, the one guy that they were just a little worried about was Frankie, and he stepped it up this match, going, strode that first frame, then 4-bagger spare triple.
Man, Frankie can strike out for 258.
Yeah.
He's got a 279 and a 258 in the same game. Pretty impressive.
Mark, great finish, 279 game. He knows he has that gold within reach. Just need to stay behind the line for Team Canada.
Way to go, kid! Way to go!
They are ready to hear the Canadian national anthem.
That's right. You know, that's the one thing that we train so hard for. You want to hear your national anthem at least once here at the World Championships.
And we will hear that anthem here live on Bowl TV. We'll stay on for the medal ceremony once this ends. Another strike for Frankie. Canadian coaches are getting pretty excited down there.
Yep. Cho finishing up, striking the fill for a 233.
Well, I hope that Hazel McCleary is watching somewhere back home in Sandy Low. They're going to be real proud of you guys.
Most definitely. You know, Sandy Low taking over the high performance players committee, stuff like that for Team Canada. You know, I'm sure she's proud to see this. Hazel, you know, we wish you were here. This one's for you as well. You know, and everybody back home in Canada watching. You know, these guys, they just put on a spectacular performance the last couple days and here in the medal rounds.
Is Mark Bufa down there crying? I think he may be.
Mark might be shedding some tears. Good tears.
At least he's facing the right way. He's going to cry.
Yeah, exactly. Frankie finishing it out, 258.
Just an incredible game for Mark Bufa and Frankie.
Yep.
279 and a 258. And a great run by the Koreans here. And they're going to take the silver, but it's going to be Canada for the gold. Here's Patrick Gerard, 10th frame, closing it out in style.
Well, Lucas and Bowl TV World, it was nice commentating. I'm going to go down there and
do a little celebrating.
All
right, thanks
for having me.
Dan McClellan from Team Canada hanging out with us, and congratulations to the Canadians on a great victory here at the World Championships in the trios event. Korea finishing it up. 602 for Korea. And Canada going to be well over 700 here in this game. So we still have a couple of shots to go before we make the score official. Patrick Gerard closing it out. Doesn't seem to care too much about it. Doesn't matter. So we've got one more ball to throw, and then we can make it official. And Canada has taken the trio's gold. It's time to celebrate, boys. The folks back in Canada are going to be real proud of you guys. Only the second gold medal in the history of the World Championships for the Canadian men's team, as they win 721 to 602 in the gold medal match against Korea. Congratulations to Canada. A lot of tears right now. Everybody's excited. And take a look at Mark Bufa. He is very emotional right now after shooting 279 to help lead the Canadians to the trios gold medal. So keep it right here. We will have the medal ceremony for you coming up next. We'll hear the Canadian national anthem. We'll see Korea get their silver. We'll see the United States and Colombia get their bronze medals in just a couple of minutes here on Bowl TV. The tears continue to flow. Let's go get some tissues for these guys. Hard-earned victory for Canada. It helps.
USBC National Governing Body, Mr. Neil Strimmel. The bronze medalists from the USA, Bill O'Neill, Tommy Jones, Chris Barnes. And from Colombia, Edward Ray, Oscar Rodriguez, and Santiago Mejia. Presenting our medals in the silver and gold category, President of the Korean Bowling Congress, Mr. Kil-Doo Kim. Silver medalist from Korea, Choi Bak-un, Choi Yong-seun, Kim Jong-yoon. And your gold medalist from Canada, Mark Bumba, Francois Lavoie.